Noodle.
Wow.
My blue crab that I rescued from the grocery store. But we're not eating her for dinner. Instead, we're going to try to keep her as a pet. And if it works, we'll surprise Noodle with her dream home. A realistic Krusty Krab for her to explore. You see, last week, while I was grocery shopping, I noticed a section of live animals. I realized that these animals were being sold for food. And that's when I saw her, at the bottom of a bucket, all alone. I knew I had to try and save her, but the staff didn't think it would work. However, I've seen people do this before, so I had hope that we could save her. I will call you Noodle. I can't believe she was only $1. If this works, Noodle will be the cheapest pet I've ever had. So here's the game plan to save Noodle. First, we need to get her into an emergency hospital tank. Then, we're going to feed her to build up her strength. And finally, we're gonna build her the Krusty Krab. And while I'm building, can you spot these characters hidden somewhere in this video? Back at the studio, we're setting up a cycled hospital tank for Noodle. And we can't forget to add some fish tank essentials for her. Now at this point, I had no idea what would happen. But then, Noodle started blowing bubbles. She's moving. And a few minutes later, she was doing this cute little dance. She's loving her fresh water. At the grocery store, Noodle's eyes were fully in the socket, and now they're all the way out. I was super excited. But then I quickly realized I might be too late to save Noodle. She's missing one of her legs, a whisker, and has damage to her shell. Worst of all, she's not eating. So I'm adding a little waiting room to monitor Noodle's progress. And we can't forget her first visitor. I really hope she gets better. If we're gonna try and save Noodle, we need to know everything about her. So I sent Adam to Maryland, the blue crab capital of the world.
There's over 322 million crabs in this bay, and we're gonna catch one of them. This bait goes in the crab trap, which lures the crab into the net. Then you reel it in. But I spent hours trying to catch a crab, and I got nothing. This may be harder than I thought.
Back at the studio, Noodle is still ignoring any food. She's really weak, and I don't think she remembers how to use her claws. She's gone back into hiding, and I'm losing hope. Meanwhile, Adam had some success on his crab hunt.
Healthy crabs are super strong and fast. Noodle should have bright orange claws and a deep blue color like these. See you later, little guy.
The days passed, and Noodle still wasn't eating. So I decided to investigate. Meet Stanley, my red crab. He has a huge appetite. All crabs are scavengers and eat a lot, so I knew I couldn't give up on Noodle. And after 5 days of not eating, this happened. Oh, she's eating! This is the first time Noodle's eaten in weeks. Over the next few days, Noodle began to explore her tank. She really loves those bubbles. Maybe I should have named her Bubbles. But then I realized this hospital tank is too small for her. If we want Noodle to fully recover, we need a much bigger tank. We have some huge tanks in the studio, like this ecosystem for my axolotls and this claw machine fish tank. But these are freshwater and Noodle needs saltwater. So I'm at Petco to get supplies for Noodle's saltwater setup, like this, and these. Whoa, check out all the fish in here. Hi. I even ran into a fan of the channel. Are you subscribed?
Yeah.
Okay, anything you can grab in 30 seconds, I'll buy.
Go, 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 go! Okay, he knows exactly what he wants.
Subscribe!
We have the supplies, but we still need a tank. I spent hours scouring the web. I found the perfect tank, but it needs to be picked up today.
Oh, but I just got back.
Sorry, Noodle needs your help. So while Adam gets the tank, we're making the Krusty Krab. And while I'm building, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Last year, stress and anxiety started affecting me. I knew I needed expert advice, so I sought a therapist who has experience helping others. My therapist suggested fish keeping to manage these emotions, which has really helped me relax. With BetterHelp, you'll be able to find a therapist much quicker than it's taking me to build the Krusty Krab. I just remembered that the Krusty Krab has archways, and I only have straight wood. So I made heaps of smaller pieces to create them. Answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you with a licensed therapist. They have a master's or doctorate degree with over 3 years and 1,000 hours of experience, and you'll be matched usually within 48 hours. And if it's not a perfect fit, you can try someone new.
With just one click.
The Krusty Krab looks great.
But it's missing something.
How about the iconic flags out front and the famous clamshell sign? Now we're talking. So click the link in the description or head to betterhelp.com/aquariuminfo for a special discount on your first month of therapy. Check this out. Noodle is remembering how to use her claws. It was clear that Noodle was getting stronger. Noodle! Maybe a little too strong. It looks like she really doesn't like my camera. Meanwhile, Adam arrived to pick up the fish tank.
We're coming, Noodle! Only 10 more buckets to go. We almost have everything, but we have a huge problem. The tank looks great, but there is no way the stand is fitting in here. The only option we had was to strap it to the roof. Now we just gotta get it back to the studio.
Adam nailed it! This tank is massive, and after a quick clean, it looks brand new. But the stand is a different story. This stand has a lot of water damage and is super unstable. If Noodle is gonna live in here, we need to fix this. So I ran to Home Depot to grab as much wood as I could, which was easier than I thought. We're coming, Noodle! Noodle's home will weigh over 600 pounds, so each joint of our stand needs to be perfect, or else our tank could fall off and explode. Did you know that blue crabs like to be alone most of the time? They're actually kind of grumpy and don't like sharing their space. I wish we could get Noodle a friend, but I just don't think she'd like that. Yeah. Check out this light I got for Noodle. And we have to add a custom Bikini Bottom background. This stand is much sturdier. But the next day, Noodle took a turn for the worst. She's gone back to hiding in the sand and isn't eating. We need to hurry and set up her big tank. But first, we need a pump, skimmer, filter sock, heater, and light. Even though Noodle was only $1, this setup is getting pretty expensive. But I do just about anything for Noodle. Since she loves to dig, I'm creating a thick layer of sand for her. And her miniature Krusty Krab will be the perfect hiding place. And we can't forget the iconic clamshell sign and the Bikini Bottom bus. Soon, Noodle will have so much room to explore. And even though Noodle can't be with other crabs, she won't really be alone. You see, if we take an even closer look, it's clear that Noodle has heaps of tiny friends all around her. And if you want your own pet, I'm giving away an epic kit with everything you need. So comment below for your chance to win. It's finally time to welcome Noodle home. When I first found Noodle at the grocery store, she was all alone and in really rough shape. She's blossomed into a confident little explorer. I can't believe she's eating dinner inside the Krusty Krab. I'm so happy that Noodle's become a member of our crew.